What's up, guys? How you doing? Today's video I want to talk about astrology and how astrology is demonic and you should turn away from those practices. So I want to just talk about it right here on ChatGPT. Astrology is the study of how the positions and movements of the sun, moon, planets, and stars are believed to influence human lives, personalities, and events on Earth. Uh, Basic idea: astrology is based on the belief that the universe is connected, that cosmic patterns like the motion of planets reflect or affect patterns in human life. It's not a science but a symbolic system used for interpretation and guidance. Zodiac signs: the zodiac is divided into 12 signs, each representing a segment of sky through which the sun appears to move during the year. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. So most of these astrology, they look at the sun, the stars, and the planets, and the universe. So they pray to these to the sun, and then the moon, and the planets, and the stars. So astrology, man, like I know there's uh, horoscopes, the 12 zodiac signs of what's your birth chart, and it talks about what your compatibility will be with certain relationships, and it basically shows if you're a certain sign, that's the sign, that's who you what you're gonna be. That's your identity. So they're letting you know, um, this practice is just letting you know that whatever sign you are, that's what you're gonna be. So say, like, for example, like a Leo, because I know I study Leos. You're gonna be like you're gonna be you're very prideful. Um, you're very prideful, and you're very talkative, or you're good with talking with people, and you're like dominant, like a Leo, like a lion. So that's what Leo's about, and that comes with the spirit of pride. So most of these horoscopes, man, they're false identities just to give you a feeling, how they just want you to make you feel good about yourself. So now, like, you feel like a lion, like you feel like you're a Leo, like I'm prideful. That's what most of these signs these signs are demonic. This is all pagan practice. The Bible, it talks about how the astrologers back then in the Egyptian times. So I'm gonna get through it right now. But yeah, all this stuff is demonic, guys. And it talks about planets and their meanings. In astrology, planets symbolize different forces: sun, identity, ego, life force; moon, emotions, intuition, inner self; Mercury, communication, thinking; Venus, love, beauty, relationships; Mars, energy, drive, conflict; Jupiter, growth, luck, wisdom; Saturn, discipline, responsibility, karma; Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, transformation, dreams, and deeper spiritual influences. Birth chart. When someone is born, astrologers make a birth chart or natal chart, a map of where all the planets were at the exact time and place. This chart is interpreted I can't say that word, guys, right now, but yeah, to to describe a person. All right, so interpret. There you go. So yeah, like this to me, it seems to me it looks like New Age practice. This is a lot of New Age practice stuff that people are practicing. Hinduism as well, guys. I know Hinduism, they practice this stuff. Um, Talk about enlightenment. Uh, this is all divination, guys. So most of the astrology, like horoscope signs, they like to mix it with like New Age practice with like reincarnation videos. And most of those videos, guys, it's very demonic. Reincarnation's not real. You're not gonna come back with if you good karma or bad karma. what's your karma, what's your sign, like what you're gonna be in your next life. If you have good karma, you're gonna prosper well. I guess that's what most of these reincarnation talks about. You know, they have different videos about it that talks about reincarnation. So yeah, this is all paganism. I'll turn away from it. You know, it's all demonic. So the purpose, people use astrology for self-understanding, relationship, insight, compatibility, timing decisions through transits of horoscopes, spiritual or symbolic meaning. Science versus belief. Astrology is not scientific. Study shows no physical link between planets and human behavior. However, many people use this symbolically or spiritually like a mirror for reflection and personal growth. Yeah, so it's like a mirror. It's like you're it's reflecting this false identity that the devil's reflecting to you, letting you know that this is what you're gonna be. This is what you're called for. You're gonna be this. So the devil likes to give people false identities by putting astrology and horoscopes and making you believe that that sign is what you're called for, what you're called for. So don't believe any of these practices, man. It all comes from Satan. Satan's the father of lies, and he comes to deceive the world, and he just wants to confuse people with these practices. Because most of these New Age practices, man, it all links to the universe. When we already know Jesus Christ already created the universe, so why would we worship uh, the universe when the Creator himself, the Most High, is the one that created the universe? So why are we worshiping something that the Creator created? See, we want to let it make sense, because if we're worshiping something that is not of God, that He doesn't want us to worship. He called us not to worship uh, the universe, and He talks about in the Bible to turn away from divination and pagan practice, because that comes from the enemy Satan. So Satan's the one that uh, deceives people with these things, and we want to turn away from this stuff. All right. So I know astrology doesn't really show that much of false gods. Like, Hinduism does show a lot of false gods in there, and astrology talks about the sun, and there is false gods in astrology, because there's the sun gods. And they talk about that in Egyptian. The Egyptians worshipped the sun god of Ra, so there is false gods in here that are like kind of they're in disguise, and they don't want to. They're trying to confuse you with this stuff when all this stuff is connected with the Egyptian practices as well, with the Book of the Dead, and it's all connected with the Celts, the Druids. All that stuff is all connected. They're all connected. It's all paganism. All right. So astrology in biblical times, in ancient cultures like Babylon, Egypt, and Greece, people often look to the stars and constellations for guidance. They believe the heavenly bodies control fate, kings, and nations. But God's word repeatedly warned his people not to follow those practices, because it replaces trust in God with trust in creation. So Bible verses about astrology: Isaiah 47 verse 13 through 14, KJV: Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly uh, progno- progno- procrastinators, and what does it say? Prognos. That's a big word right there. Hold on. Prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble; fire shall burn them. So God mocks the astrologers of Babylon. And oh my phone's getting hot right now. Let's see. So yeah, God mocks the astrologers of Babylon, saying they could not save anyone. Their predictions were powerless compared to His will.